Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. So much crying from that. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You haven't worked in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our, Team Texas Tuesday? No, y'all, it's Black History Month. It is day 2 of Black History Month, and I'm telling you right now, it's really 31 days in January, 2 days in February. It's day 33 of Black History Month, because Black History Month, in case you ain't know, is from January 1st all the way to December 31st. And you know what you do on January 1st? Start it all over again. You start it all over again. So just shouting that out. For those who are checking out my shirt, spoke it into existence yesterday. I spoke it into existence yesterday. I said, rather than allowing other folks to tell me what my history is, I'm going to do some research. And I've been doing it. This one right here ain't new. This one is not new. The shirt is new, but the fact is not. Nat Turner, we were told, was a murderer and a killer and, marauded through villages and towns and, killing settlers and slave owners and what have you. And the reality is, all Nat Turner was a freedom fighter. Nat Turner knew that slavery was wrong before other folks figured it out. We honor Abraham Lincoln, and we should. We honor others, and we should. But I'm told I'm supposed to honor, Confederate soldiers and flags and monuments and what have you. Why? Because they represent that form of that area of history. But guess what? Nat Turner represents my area of history. This man was fighting for my ancestors and my family before anybody else was. So yeah, Nat Turner, freedom fighter. Bam. And I gotta shout out to a young lady who made that thing happen like real fast. Made it happen like real fast. So I got to give some love to her because I called her yesterday with an idea. And Cassie put that thing together. She was like, yo, give me a minute. I'll send you a layout. Got the layout back. Like, yo, I love it. She's like, all right, come pick it up in about an hour and a half. Today? Yeah, today I'll have it. Wait, what? I got a shirt in a day? Where did they do that at? I got the person. So if you need some good quality shirts made with your ideas and logos on them, I got the person. And she wasn't expensive. So I got to give love where honor is due. Young lady, black-owned business, trying to handle her business. And I'm glad I connected with her. So that's what we got going on today. A lot we need to talk about in the world of sports as well. How about them Rockets? They made it 6 in a row last night, setting records and all kinds of things. We'll talk about that and more right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680. I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we are back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Black History Month, Team Texas Tuesday on the lunch break. And again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I want to shout out to Sydney Brown. What's going on, Queen? Alice McGaffey. What's going on, Alice? Also, Valencia King. What's up, fam? Queen, niece of mine. What's up? How you doing? King Keith Hennig. What's going on, brother? All right, so the Rockets, you ain't got to like them, but you got to deal with them. They have won 6 in a row, and they went off last night. They went off. How many times have you heard somebody come on and say the Rockets got off to a fast start in the last, 4 years? 4. Very rarely do the Rockets get off to a fast start. And last night they did. Last night they did. John Wall, first 8 points of the game. Dude came lit, loaded, and ready to go. And the Rockets tied an NBA record for 11 made threes in the first quarter of a game. They put up 48 in the first quarter and went on to win 136-106. They won by a dub and a dime. They won by a dub and a dime. Where my domino players at? That's when you slap that board down. Give me 30. Yeah, y'all know nothing about that. Y'all know nothing about that. So anyway, in fact, somebody got me after the show talking about their stuff that they do and that they learn how to do. They start talking about those card parties and family get-togethers and friends coming over and, you know, playing the Al Green. I am so in love with you. Yeah. Man, don't get me started, because I learned who Al Green was because of some of those get-togethers my mom and my stepdad used to have. And I mean it. I'm telling you. Cards, bid whist parties, spades, dominoes. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Might not mean nothing to somebody who, you know, didn't do that kind of thing, but to some folks, those were fond memories in their families. And, you know, now that we're in lockdown and shutdown, they remember those things. So anyway, Rockets won by 30 last night. John Wall, 18. Christian Wood, 18. Another double-double for that young man. And then Eric Gordon off the bench, 25. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not trying to make it an issue between people that are gone and Eric Gordon, but all I know is not only is he healthy, but he's playing with a different level of intensity. Eric Gordon is not just stop and pop. Eric Gordon is driving to the basket. Eric Gordon is D'ing people up. Eric Gordon is getting it in. Desiree said, singing, whatever you want to do is all right with me. And Desiree, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me, because I learned them old song. Hold on. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this? Hello? Hello? You on? You there? Hello? I'm hanging up. Call back. Couldn't hear you. All right, listen, if you call me, make sure you're paying attention, because I'll go right to you. I'll go right to you. Cindy Brown said, I did. Did I do that, Cindy Brown? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Something going wrong. Someone's on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning. Listen, don't get me started. That Al Green, boy, I was a little kid, that thing was doing something to me. Desiree said I started. Desiree, call me. Call me right now, Desiree. Desiree, call me right now. 281-453-1000. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this? Hello?
AJ.
Ferdinand, I couldn't hear you at first, but I got you now.
No, I guess there might have been somebody before me.
Oh, okay.
And you know what, AJ? The thing about it is, when things don't work, you have to change up. I don't care what kind of format we have, and we've been trying for years and years. We have to find a way to win. So the best thing for the Rockets was to get trades, because you have to have a different chemistry, got a different coach who has a different format. So that is what happened. You know how to coach guys that have talent, you win.
Yeah. It's definitely something different, and I like it. I like it. Imagine if he did that in that series against Golden State when they just needed one win out of those last 2 games. Imagine if he hadn't been part of that 0 for 27 3-point drought, and he was driving to the bucket like he's doing right now. That young man's drive. My coach used to tell me, dribble with purpose, dribble with intent. Don't just dribble to dribble. And imagine if he was going to the rack like that. Oh, man, I'm telling you, we'd be sitting here possibly holding a chip.
Well, yeah. The thing about it is, look, we got something to look forward to, you know. The more those guys play together and gel together, you know, the better they become, to strengthen their core on what they have, and they can keep winning. So, I mean, it's all about the chemistry. And sometimes ain't a well too long, and it will run dry.
Well, let me throw this out as well. The Rockets are 6-3 over the last 9 games, and over those last 9 games, guess what? They've got the number 1 defense in the NBA.
Well, AJ, maybe what we're seeing is may have some coaches, you know, in the future. Look, when your game plan don't work, you got other guys that are on that team. You got to find a chemistry that works for your team so you can get wins. If you stay with that same system that you've been doing for 20, 30, 40 years that doesn't work, hadn't won you a championship, you have to change. So, baby, this will help some coaches change up.
You know, I've been refraining. We got Ferdinand on the lunch break with us, Team Texas Tuesday and Black History Month, Caller of the Year 2017. I've been refraining from sitting here telling everybody how right I was. I know the Rockets haven't won anything yet, but remember when I said they got to break up the big three? I said they got to break up Daryl Morey, Mike D'Antoni, and James Harden. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that they would do it. But the first domino fell when D'Antoni decided he wasn't coming back. Then Daryl Morey wanted to step away, spend time with his kids. Until Philly called. And then they pulled off the unthinkable, and that was trading James Harden away to the Brooklyn Nets. And now you see a team that is able to develop its own identity rather than trying to make something that you just said that has not worked, try to make it work when we already know that style of play was not going to work. So I love what I'm seeing right now.
Absolutely. Like I say, sometimes, guys, we have to learn not to get mad at people because of the decision they make. The best thing that could ever happen to the Rockets, AJ, was Harden to get upset and want to be gone. That's the best thing he could have ever done since he's been there. I've never been a Harden fan. I've watched him from OKC to here, and he's just not the go-to guy. He's a phenomenal player. But when you come to team leadership and the guy that's going to get the last shot for you, he's just not that guy. Not saying that he won't become that guy, because he's still got a couple of years left. But right now, he did the best thing for the Rockets.
Well, man, I tell you what, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Boogie. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of John. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of those young guys, man. Jashawn Tate and Jones and all of them, man. Christian Wood has a whole different mentality, man. It's like he wants to be the superstar and not be cocky about it. He wants to be the superstar and not be a diva about it. He wants to just be one of the best players, if not the best player, for the Houston Rockets. And I can see it in every single possession.
Michael Jordan couldn't become a superstar by himself. He had to have help. So once you recognize as a team that we can play together, we can tell each other, we can learn and feed off of one another, we can conquer the world. So that's what the Rockets have learned in this short period of time. If you want to become a champion, you'll do what they're doing right now. Learning one another, not being big in the head where you can't pass the ball to the next player who's open. Very well can make your shot when you're trying to make a difference. So I think, to me, watching James, sometimes James forced a lot of stuff and put his team in a bad spot. But unselfishness wins a lot of games.
Yeah, you're right about it, man. You're right about it. Ferdinand, I appreciate you as always, brother. Happy Black History Month to you.
Same to you. Appreciate it.
All right, Caller of the Year, Ferdinand, 2017. First caller on this show. Appreciate him. Love him to life. For Ferdinand, for Milo, and for Chi-Town. Got to have your picks in by Sunday, 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on Sunday. I'll try and wait till the last minute to get them. So if there's any changes, you can change up. But got to have your picks in by Sunday, 4 o'clock for the big game. All right, let me take a break. Be right back with more after this on the lunch break.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Wait, what?
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
Love and happiness. Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
Something that can make you do wrong.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Desiree, Sydney Brown, Monique, I'm getting in trouble for this. I gotta talk over it so I don't get in trouble with Facebook, but I'm trying to get to this one part. Yeah, Black History Month. Black History Month. All right, John, we back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK 92.3 FM, 1140, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. I just had to take somebody back a minute before they got all saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. I had to take them back a little bit. Sydney, I had to take them back a little bit. They weren't ready for that. Oh my goodness. It is Black History Month. Had to do it. Valencia King said had to do it. Woo, my head is hot. Oh boy, Al Green, wherever you are, bro, I thank goodness for you, man. I thank goodness for you. Sydney said over there stomping her foot. Baby, them stomps come in, you know what's coming. Has anybody seen those twins? They're young fellas. I think they're in their early 20s, and they sit in their little gaming chairs and they listen to and rate music for the first time. And I haven't seen the one where they did Al Green, Love and Happiness, but I would love to see their faces when that thing break down after them foot stomp. Boom, 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 doom, 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 doom. Wait a minute. Man, I'm telling you, you're going to make me go find that video now. You're going to make me go find that video. Speaking of videos, yesterday was media day for Super Bowl 55, and there were some very interesting comments that came out of that. I got a lot of folks hitting me up now with old songs that they remember from back in the day. At their little family get-togethers and friends coming over. So if you got a song that you remember from back in those days, be sure and drop them on me. This person just asked, what about the Commodores? Just to be close to you, float on, and easy like Sunday morning. But yeah, Doc, let me tell you something. I used to wear a shag. You know, the haircuts that, was kind of low down here and then it got in the back and it was a shag. I used to wear that because Lionel Richie wore that. I need to get David Grubb on here because nobody does a better Lionel Richie than David Grubb on Just to Be Close to You. That make me feel special. I can't do it like my brother David Grubb does, but I'm telling you, that you got to understand, I was Commodores crazy because folks told me one day I looked like Lionel Richie from the Commodores. You ain't need to tell me nothing else. Yeah, I ain't care if his head was long. I ain't care if his nose was long. I ain't care if he had big lips. I wanted to look like Lionel Richie because Lionel Richie was singing them songs. That Jesus is love, I know. And if you ask, I'll show. Love is the, man, don't play with me. Don't play with that. Baby, Black history is so much deeper than folk think. And if they quit trying to tell us what it is and let us just enjoy the truth about our Black history, we could all have a good time. We could all have a good time. So anyway, so let me, y'all, these are coming in now. Okay, come on, Desiree, call me because I want to mess with you. Desiree Battle's going to call me here on the show any minute. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. Sydney Brown, I need to get you on the show today too, Sydney. But anyway, it was media day. It was media day at the Super Bowl. And I always love this kid reporter. I always love him. So anyway, hold on. Let's see. Okay, let me stop it. Do that. Turn it up. This is he's a well-known young man or what have you. And he asked really good question during media days. Here's what he asked Pat Mahomes, the reigning Super Bowl MVP from last season. Here's what he asked him.
I know one of your buds, Tyrann Mathieu, is nicknamed the Honey Badger for how he plays on the field. But what do you think your spirit animal nickname is?
Man, spirit animal nickname. I would like to be like a wolf. I feel like a wolf, kind of running around with my pack and being able to be a leader and someone that continues to attack and continues to lead as much as possible.
What about your bud, Travis Kelce?
Travis, man, it's got to be something funny. I think he'd be like a giraffe.
Oh,
wow. He's kind of just out there grazing around the field, trying to make something happen. Find his different things that he can run around and do stuff with, and he's always a good time.
Again, great questions by that young man. I love when he asks questions because they're always good like that. And I appreciate Pat Mahomes being a good sport because there were about 5,000 media people on the Zoom, and Pat Mahomes was just a great sport. And when it came to him, I knew it was going to be a good question. So I like that. If y'all, Desiree, call me back. I think that was you that was calling. I was coming to you. Call me back, Desiree. Listen, where my wrestling fans at? Not wrestling. Where my wrestling fans at? How many of y'all remember the Wolfpack? Man, when the NWO turned into the Wolfpack. Let me go to the phone line. When the NWO turned into the Wolfpack. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Mr. Jones, this is Miss Battles. How are you?
Oh, now we all formal now. Mr. Jones, Miss Battles. Like,
hey, lunch breakers.
Like, I feel like I need to go put a shirt and a tie on. All formal with me. What's going on?
Not playing Al Green. You don't need no shirt and tie.
Dum, 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 dum. Wait a minute. Wait, what's somebody doing on the phone 3 o'clock in the morning talking about she can make it right?
3 o'clock. Hey, they had some issues. They had some concerns they need to discuss. And that's why she woke up and she said, you know what? Let me call him at 3 o'clock and wake him up. But while he was up, though.
You know what? I'm just trying to figure out what was going on.
Get some situations taken care of,
Oh, my gosh. Desiree, give me some memories of your childhood growing up that maybe other cultures would not have experienced.
I think one of my best things of growing up in South Park, Texas, Crestmont.
Crestmont?
I grew up in the village of South Park and moved before we moved to the suburbs, of course. And, we just had a good time of just chilling at South South Park and then going to the weekends to Wharton, Texas, to the country. And I do believe that I was able to see a little bit of everything experienced. Like you were saying something about the wrestling, where my wrestling fans, I was, Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
What?
Andre the Giant. Yeah.
Come on here.
Junkyard Dog, going to the Sam Houston Coliseum and looking at those things and experiencing those things here in Houston was a lovely time, wine gardens, things like that, old stomping grounds in Southport, Texas.
Wait, but hold on. Now I gotta go back now. It's Team Texas Tuesday, so I need to go back and find out, were you a Freebirds fan or were you with the Von Erichs?
I was more, the Von Erichs, they came a little later for me.
Okay.
I was more of, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Junkyard Dog.
All right, well, hold on. Were you with the Rock and Roll Express or were you with the Four Horsemen?
Rock and Roll Express.
Okay, were you with the Road Warriors or were you the Nature Boy, Ric Flair? Woo!
Boy, Ric Flair, because he just had that flair.
Okay, I got it. Listen, brother, it's Randy the Macho Man Savage. Yeah.
I love Macho Man Savage. Just ooh wee, one of those.
And then last and certainly, what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother?
Yes. That kids don't know anything about that at this time of frame. So I just loved it. My childhood, I cannot say it was a bad childhood. When you brought the Al Green, I love Al Green. I love the impressions with Curtis Mayfield.
What?
I'm old, so yeah, move on up. Come on now, don't do that. My first group that I was able to go see, and I didn't know why I loved them so much, was Earth, Wind and Fire. That was the first concert that I actually went to. Hold
on. You almost made me say the reasons that we're here. The reasons that we're here.
Now, we don't want to talk about Earth, Wind and Fire and the reasons why we're here, because that was about a one night stand.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was today's year old when I realized that that's what that was about. I did not know that.
Listen to him. He said, reason why we here. He said, yes, we can't do that.
Wait a minute. Now, you done messed me up now. This is almost as bad. We got Desiree Battles joining us here. Team Texas Tuesday. I know we're talking sports, but music is such an intimate part of sports. This is almost as bad as when somebody said, listen to when the guy says, me and Mrs. Jones. My friend told me that the dude had a lisp. Billy Paul has a lisp. So he says, me and Mrs. Jones. And it messed me up for the rest of the song. Now, you done told me something about one of my favorite songs that I never knew. Sidney Brown didn't know that either.
Yes, I need y'all to listen. He said the reason why we're here.
Who told you that? Somebody might have just told you that so you didn't listen to it.
Oh, no, that's why I remember the song and I listened to the lyrics, and then Phil Bailey, he said people wanted to know why he wouldn't sing this song at weddings, and he said, have y'all listened to the lyrics? And then it was confirmed when I said this is talking about a one night stand. That's the reason why we're here.
One of my favorite interviews of all time since I've been working in radio, let me date myself, since 1982, was Philip Bailey. He came to WYLD in New Orleans by himself. He didn't have a manager with him. He didn't have an entourage. He didn't have the rest of the guys. He just came in by himself. And all I wanted to hear him do was hit that high note. I just wanted to hear him do that. I never asked him what the nature of the song was. I feel like I did a bad interview.
Well, sometimes we just don't know. But if you're a music connoisseur,
Okay. I feel like you put your pinky out on me right there. I feel like you got your cup by the three fingers and the thumb and the pinky was stuck out. Wow. You have messed me up today.
Well, just like Whitney Houston song, she said, saving all my love for you?
Yeah.
And that's about a one night thing.
Get off my phone. Get off my phone. You better get off my phone. I'm not talking to you no more today. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Kansas City or Tampa Bay?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Get off my phone. Kansas City going to win the Super Bowl. You have not brought any joy to the show today.
Yes, I have. I've brought a lot of joy. Tampa Bay. I don't do,
You done ruined Earth, Wind, and Fire. You done ruined Whitney Houston. What else is next?
I'm trying to get you hip on the hip talk.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
I'm trying to say,
I asked for this. I asked Desiree, you've made my day. You have a good rest of your day out there, all right?
Enjoy the rest of your day, lunch breakers. You have a wonderful testimony and terrific Tuesday. I'm going to go more to you more, okay? You have a wonderful day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Desiree. I appreciate her, but I got to take a break just to get my life together. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company radio called The Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
You're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ on the
Man.
KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, and it is Black History Month. You can shop for your African fashions for the whole family at my favorite store, African Imports. That's right. They have Black History Month specials. Masks only $4.99. Scarves and hats only $9.99. You can get dashikis for your kids, $14.99 and up. Adult dashikis, $29.99. And ladies, you can get those fabulous, beautiful, immaculate dresses for $39.99 and up. And you can tell them you heard it here on KYOK, and they will give you 10% off your purchase at African Imports. If you've got a Black History program coming up at your school, at your church, even if you're doing it virtually, how beautiful will it be if everybody in those different panels and windows on your video had the beautiful attire from African Imports? Call my friend Opie, 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056. Tell him AJ from the legendary KYOK sent you. He gonna take good care of you. Yeah, Desiree, you done messed me up today. I gotta let me get some of my fruit water. Done messed me up on Earth, Wind, and Fire and Whitney Houston. Two of my favorites. Two of my absolute favorites. Goodness gracious. And then pick Tampa Bay on top of that. I'm talking about sorry, Tampa Bay. Let's see. Sydney Brown said, Desiree, thank you for giving us the knowledge. LOL. I had no idea. Man, don't be thanking her for that. I'm going back, put my head in the sand. I'm listening to Reasons on the way home. I ain't fooling with y'all. I ain't taking my joy. I'm gonna do a medley. Reasons and Whitney Houston, Saving All My Love for You. The remix. All right, so let me tell you why Black history and sports. I talked about it a little bit. Yesterday. Let me go to the phone line first. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, Jay, it's Longhorn Keith, man. How are you?
Man, what is going on? Can you believe I asked somebody to call into my show and ruin two of my favorite artists and songs on the same day.
Listen, if it helps you at all, brother, I'm today years old to learn that too, man. I had no clue that was about a one-night stand.
Bruh, I don't listen.
That messed me up.
Don't even say it no more. We won't. If we don't say it, it can't be true.
Listen, man, I don't have a whole lot of points to talk about because Miss Desiree, bro, she literally took me back from. I got the call. But this is so nostalgic, man. I'm telling you, I was sitting up here listening to her talk about you and her talk about wrestling and all the old stuff. Now, I didn't grow up in South Park. I grew up in Eggerton, man. The Fofo.
The Fofo.
Yes. And man, I remember growing up, and this is tied to Black History, man, because thinking about everything that we had to overcome. I remember growing up as a kid, man, and we used to have to stand in line once a month over at Charles Drew Middle School to get the government cheese. And man, I would make some of the best grilled cheese sandwiches. And my grandmother used to always tell me, boy, don't use all that cheese. We got to save the funk. And man, that would be our meals a whole lot of the time. And then we go outside and we play marbles in the front yard, play for the big boulder marbles with some of my friends. And man, and probably my favorite music, and still to this day, my all-time number one, Frankie Beverly and Maze. Man, I remember as a kid sitting under the knowledge tree with my grandfather and my uncle, and they would be playing dominoes and talking noise. And man, every time Happy Feelings would come on, man, I felt like every time I hear it now, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. It didn't matter what the troubles of that community were. The one thing about it, man, music brought us closer together. And more importantly, I felt like our neighbors were our friend. I remember I used to always, my grandmother say, baby, go down the street and ask Miss Davis for a cup of sugar. And we'd give her a cup of sugar. She'd give us a cup of sugar. And it's just different times, man. But those were some as hard as they were to come through, looking back on it, there were some good times. You know what I mean?
Outstanding. Yeah, absolutely, Keith. I mean, you just took me way back because my grandmother used to send me and my sister to the store for her, and she would tell us to tell the person there what she wanted and to give us some penny candies too. And we watch this, and we noticed we didn't have any money. Until you said that, it's like I didn't have any money. I just told Mr. Johnson, my grandmother wanted, what she wanted, and he said to give her, and she asked if you'll give us some penny candies too. And brother, that is history, man. That is our Black history.
AJ, you giving me chills right now, bro, because honestly, I literally just had this conversation 2 weeks ago. We were talking about growing up, my grandfather, his name was his credit.
Yep.
If my grandfather sent us to the store and told Mr. Ingram, he says, I already know your grandfather sent you, no problem.
Yep.
And my grandfather, whenever he had it to handle up, he would handle up. And I remember growing up, man, I felt like there wasn't, I don't know, still to this day, it blows my mind to realize how he took care of stuff being a sharecropper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, man, it just brings back so many wonderful memories, man. And like I said, I think what this does for us as a community when we look on Black history, it reminds us, man, of all the trials we've had to overcome and endure. And more importantly, just to show how strong and resilient we are as a people, because there's not a lot of people that has the story of the African American growing up. And this is the last part. I remember when they started busing us from all Black schools to integrate us into white schools.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this until literally it must have been when I graduated. I was in college. And it was just because they wanted our athletes.
Yeah. And that's
and granted, there were some other reasons behind it, but they really wanted our athletes.
Right.
Man. Just mind blowing, bro.
Yeah. No, man, that is all part of our history. And it's a part of our history that we've got to know and we got to share and we got to repeat. And one thing that I learned when I went over to Kenya is they have so few books in certain parts of Africa one book will pass through 40 plus hands before another book is introduced into that community. So what does that tell you? The storytelling, the word of mouth, the sharing from the wisdom of older people to the younger people, and then them sharing it when they get older is what kept legacies and history going. And man, we gotta remember that, man. My grandmother always said, don't ever forget where you came from. Don't ever forget where you came from, because you'll never be who you are if you don't remember where you came from.
Man, listen, I'm going to just share this because I didn't know you had been to Kenya. Brother, right now, I am part of an organization. We're supporting kids, feeding kids in Kenya, as well as providing books and resources and that kind of thing. And I'll send you that information. But man,
Please do.
It's so funny because what's weird about what she just said, not so much weird, it's just to think about, those people with the lack of resources and how even as we evolve in this country, there are still communities in our own neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right here in Houston,
yeah,
that are almost like third world countries in the sense that we're still lacking in a lot of things, man. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I thank God, and this is the last thing I'll say, man, I thank God that when I look back over everything that we've been through, especially in my life, man, God has been so good and faithful, man. And it just shows that if you just, you stay faithful to him, man, and he'll give you what you need.
That is just the absolute truth, Keith. And that's what I love, man, about God. You just hang on to his promises, man. And it might not come when you expect it to, but it will never, ever, ever fail, man. And I mean that. And Black History Month has got to be that for us every single day. We can't be ashamed of it. We can't let somebody else tell us what it is. We got to dig down deep. Let me do this with you, Keith, before you go. You big UT Longhorn fan. Who was the first Black quarterback at UT?
It wasn't. As a matter of fact, no, it wasn't Bragg. I don't.
And let me tell you why I'm asking, because I tried to Google who the first Black quarterback at U of H was. And what's crazy is it doesn't just pop right up. The only thing that pops up is that Andre Ware was the first Black quarterback to win the Heisman. Oh, yeah, and he went to U of H. So if we are dependent upon other people to capture our history won't get captured. It won't get captured. And that's the crazy thing to me, because now Negro League Baseball has been melded in with Major League Baseball. And like I said, they are literally tamping down legendary stats by players who didn't get a chance to play in Major League Baseball. And they're doing it because the history has not been captured. And that's not fair to us, because our history isn't always captured. Sometimes it only got moved by word of mouth. Sometimes it only got moved because somebody was there to see it. Remember when Texas Wesleyan beat Kentucky with all them Black players? Guess what? There was no media there. They came out of the building and told them what happened, because the media wasn't going to write that Adolph Rupp got beat by some Black boys from Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So true, man.
Yeah, Donnie Little at UT in the 70s. Yeah. And watch this. And because I can't find it, I believe that Danny Davis, he's a pastor now here in Houston, was the first Black quarterback at U of H. Came up in the Yeoman era, and he was the one that led U of H to that big lead against Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl, when Joe Montana went in at halftime and got the chicken soup and came back and brought Notre Dame all the way back. But the fact that they don't have him listed readily available as the first Black quarterback at U of H is embarrassing. That's embarrassing on the school. That's embarrassing on the conference. That's embarrassing on the NCAA. They need to start capturing that stuff, man. We deserve that.
Yeah, no doubt, and I agree with you 100%. We do deserve that, and we have to continue to tell our history is our story. I agree with you 100%. Man.
Yeah.
And speaking of UT, I was just asking you this one last thing, man. Pray for my boys tonight. We go up against Baylor, the number 2 team in the nation.
I know, man. I got to tell you, bro. I'm praying for Shaka. I know he's going to be back tonight. First game back since the COVID. But Baylor is legit, bro. Baylor is solid. They really are. But I'm loving what Shaka is doing. I'm glad that it's starting to work out for him a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, listen, brother, I know you got to go, but thank you so much as always. God bless you, brother.
You too. Longhorn Keith, always a good call. I'm telling you, man, I love that brother. The show is always good when Longhorn Keith calls in. Yeah, I appreciate y'all doing that search. I appreciate y'all doing that search. But, again, the fact that I can't just pull it up real quick and bang, there it is. That's bothersome. That's bothersome. Because, I hate to keep using Slim Thug's statements and comments, but it's amazing how you can pull up people who had less talent and fewer accomplishments, and that all this stuff is all over the place. But you mean to tell me I can't find out who the first black quarterback at U of H is? Again, I'm going with Danny Davis because I don't see any reference to a black quarterback before him. And again, I want to say Danny came in like 76, somewhere around there. Got another trivia question for you. Who was the first black head coach at U of H? First black head coach at A&M? And first black head coach at UT. Football. Get that for me. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on here, and let's talk about that when we come back on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Democratic leaders are working to handle the problem of freshman Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Greene's accusations include liking posts calling for the execution of Democratic leaders and calling school shootings staged events carried out by actors. House Democrats stepped up Monday to file a resolution to remove Greene from her recent House committee assignments. When Kamala Harris took her oath of office, the U.S. gained its first woman, Black, and South Asian American vice president. And as many celebrated Vice President Harris's rise, some Black women felt defeated as the only African American woman left the halls of the U.S. Senate. Despite the efforts of Black women leading to victories for the Democratic Party, support of Black women political hopefuls has not existed. Organizers and Black women in Congress, including Congresswoman Barbara Lee of Oakland, California, are pushing to secure a seat for the next Black woman senator. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
Let's get it. Lunch break. What's up with it?
All right, y'all. We back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is Black History Month, and you can shop for your African fashions at my favorite store. My go-to store is African Imports, and they've got specials going on for the month of February. Masks as low as $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99 each. Dashikis for kids $14.99 and up. Also, adult dashikis $29.99, and ladies, you can get those beautiful dresses, African dresses, for $39.99 and up, especially with your upcoming Black History Month program at your school, at your church. Even if it's virtual, you want to stop by African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall, and they're right near the food court. Mention that you heard it right here on KYOK. They're going to give you 10% off your purchase. That's right. Go to African Imports. Call them 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056. Be sure and tell Opie you heard it right here on the lunch break with AJ. He gonna take care of you, I promise you. All right. Before the break, I asked you who the first Black head coach at U of H football, first Black head coach at A&M football, and first black head coach at UT football. Who were they? And more importantly, when were they? We take a break. I'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I know we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much pride from that. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready? I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! It's a wrap. Game over.
Now this game is just getting started. Second hour underway. First hour wrapped up tight, put on the books here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Black History Month and Team Texas Tuesday all on the same day. And we're talking about teams in the state of Texas on a college level. And the question, first black head coach at A&M, first black head coach at U of H, first black head coach at UT. Football. What's interesting is two of them are the same man. And I gotta give him some. Kevin Sumlin, when he took the job in 2007 at U of H, became the first black head football coach at the University of Houston. In 2007, December 2007, Kevin Sumlin became the first black head coach at U of H. And watch this. 4 years later, in December of 2011, he became the first black head coach at A&M. 2007 at U of H, 2011 at A&M. I don't want to hear about records. I don't want to hear about wins and losses. A lot of folks go, yeah, but AJ, what was his record? That ain't the point. You don't get to dictate the conversation, especially when we're talking about black history, not your history. 2007, Kevin Sumlin, first black head coach U of H. 2011, first black head coach at at A&M. Let me fast forward to the first black head coach at UT. First black head coach at UT was 2014. 2007, U of H. 2011, A&M. 2014, Texas A&M. All these prestigious schools, all this amazing history, all these phenomenal players that came through each and every one of those programs, and it wasn't until the last decade, because we're in 2021, it wasn't until the last decade before those schools decided to give a black man a try. Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in for a second. And two of them chose the same guy. U of H and A&M. And UT went with Charlie Strong in 2014. Two of them will probably never have another black head coach. Probably not in my lifetime. I could be wrong. A lot of things I never thought I would see in my lifetime. A black president, we've done that. A black vice president, we've done that. A black woman vice president, we've done that. So I could be wrong. But look how long it took them to get there. And what's crazy is it might take them a long time to get there again. That's black history, y'all. That's why I say black history is from January 1 to December 31st. Every day, black history is being made. I never forget my daughter, my high school age daughter, when she was in elementary school, the teachers gave them, for Black History Month, the people that they could do a report or a project on. The people were Oprah Winfrey, Halle Berry, and Beyonce. Nothing wrong with those, because those are definitely history makers, all of them, all three of them. But where was Madam C.J. Walker? Where was W.E.B. Du Bois? Where was Nat Turner? Golly, where was Harriet Tubman? It's like, don't go with the non-threatening, non-controversial black history, the black history that makes you comfortable. I'm going somewhere. Because that's what these coaches these schools chose. They chose Kevin Sumlin because, well, he didn't tear things up there at U of H. He wasn't black power up there at U of H. Maybe he can come and run the show like he did at U of H down here at A&M. He's not controversial. He's not too black. He's not scary black. And oh yeah, by the way, he did a good coaching job up at U of H. Maybe he could do that at A&M. And yeah, coaching wise, it got iffy. It fell close to mediocrity. You got to realize A&M is a culture. A&M kids come knowing that they're at A&M. A&M kids come knowing that Kevin Sumlin is not the norm. And if they don't want to play for Kevin Sumlin, who's not the norm, they don't have to. Kyle Allen transferred out of A&M. Why? Kyler Murray transferred out of A&M. Why? Even him. Now, so before you think I'm making it about race, even him, he knew that he didn't have to let a Kevin Sumlin tell him when he was ready to play. I forget who the other quarterback was that shared time with Johnny Manziel their freshman year. He transferred out. Why? Didn't want to wait. Don't want Kevin Sumlin telling me I'm not ready to play. And then Tony Busby decided that the school had had enough of Kevin Sumlin. So guess what? Kevin Sumlin got fired, and they went out and got Jimbo. Interesting. Black History Month. We don't need a Kevin Sumlin. We need a Jimbo. And I'll give Jimbo credit for this past season. Did a whole lot with not a lot in one of the craziest seasons ever. Kevin Sumlin beat Bama. Jimbo didn't. It's interesting. Very interesting. Charlie Strong brought in to clean up a hot mess at UT. You had more guys not going to class, more guys spending more time with ooh wee wee than they were with a science book. And Charlie Strong cleaned all that up. I really think what did him in is when they lost to Kansas. You don't coach Texas and lose to Kansas now. You just don't do that. But he cleaned up the program. First black head coach. It's almost like, who saw the movie The Help? Who saw the movie The Help? It's almost like those programs here in Texas brought in guys like they were the help. Clean it up and then bring in somebody else to enjoy the benefits of a cleaned up program. U of H, not the case. U of H, not the case because Kevin Sumlin chose to leave U of H for A&M. But that's why I'm really saying I wish these guys would be more selective about where they become the first at. Same thing with the brother that was at Florida State. How's that worked out since he got fired? Black History Month. Take a break. The segment brought to you by African Imports. Again, it's Black History Month. You got African fashions for the whole family. Masks $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99, kids dashikis $14.99 and up, adult dashikis $29.99, and ladies, those beautiful African dresses start at $39.99 and up. So if you're getting ready for that Black History Month program at your school or your organization, your sorority, your church, even if it's virtual, you got to stop by African Imports in Greenspoint Mall. Tell them you heard it on KYOK. You'll get 10% off your purchase. Be sure and call them 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056. Tell Opie you heard it right here on the lunch break. I'll take a break right here. Call me if you want to get in. 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they are able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680. I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Black History Month and Team Texas Tuesday, talking about the teams in Texas that, kind of tying it in with Black history. I was just looking. Somebody help me out. Have the Dallas Cowboys ever had a black head coach? The Dallas Cowboys, football. Have the Dallas Cowboys ever had a black head coach? I don't think they have, ever. Like, ever. Like, even before Jerry Jones. I know I'm right because Tom Landry was the head coach, the only head coach that they had, 1960 to 1988. Jerry Jones bought the team, fired Tom Landry in the media, and hired Jimmy Johnson from 89 to 93. Barry Switzer came in from 94 to 97. Chan Gailey got a year. Dave Campo got kind of 2 years, filled in for Chan Gailey, after he got fired. Bill Parcells was there for 3 years. Wade Phillips there 3 years. Jason Garrett there 9. And then Mike McCarthy. They never had a black head coach. It's 2021, and the Dallas Cowboys, who've been playing football since 1960, have never had a black head coach. So when and if they ever get one, that will be black history being made. Whoever that is. And whoever it is probably an infant right now. That person will probably get the job after Jerry Jones is walking around on streets paved with gold. I'm not trying to rush him. I'm just saying. Interesting. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because the Houston Texans, who've been around since 2002, just got their first black head coach this season, David Culley. In 2021, David Culley became the first black head coach for the Houston Texans. Can I go a little further? David Culley became the first black head coach for a professional team in Houston. Oilers didn't have a black head coach. The Houston Gamblers didn't have a black head coach, Jack Pardee. Amazing how, what me and Longhorn Keith say, we're today's years old before we realize that the Oilers, the Cowboys, the Gamblers, heck, we could even throw in We can even throw in the XFL and the AAF. No black head coaches. I'm getting to that, Sydney. I'm getting to that. I'm going there next. That's why I say stop complaining when you hear somebody say that there might need to be another league with different owners, because this Good Old Boy network is strong. I'm sorry. Good Old Boy and Good Old Girl network is strong. NFL, never Dallas Cowboys, never Houston Oilers, and just like right now, just like right now, day before yesterday, the Houston Texans. No for the San Antonio Commanders. No for the Houston Roughnecks. U of H got one in 2007. A&M got one in 2011. And UT got one in 2014 and may be done. We'll talk basketball when we come back. I'll see if y'all know who the first were with the Rockets, with the Spurs, and with the Mavericks. We'll do that when we come back. Don't Google it. Guess it. We'll be right back right after this on lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted.
Thank you,
so
Sydney.
call
Love you
right
much.
now to order yours.
800-262-4690.
Sydney, let me know when I can come out to the games.
800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. That's 800-262-4690.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Black History Month Team Texas Tuesday. Talking about the black head coaches in the state. We covered that the NFL, the Texans just got their first, David Culley. Cowboys have never had a black head coach. None of the other leagues had black head coaches. The AAF, the XFL, even the USFL didn't have one. The Gamblers, Houston Gamblers, had Jack Pardee as their head coach. So no there. Jumping over to basketball now. Who was the San Antonio Spurs' first black head coach? San Antonio Spurs' first black head coach. San Antonio Spurs' first black head coach. I'm going to go with, and I could be wrong, but I doubt it, John Lucas. Spurs, 1992. Am I wrong, Keith Hennick? John Lucas, 1992. I think he was their first black head coach, San Antonio Spurs, 1992. Better than football. Rockets, first black head coach, Don Chaney, who I love. First black head coach for the Rockets in 1988. And the Mavericks, was it Avery Johnson? I think it was Avery Johnson. Dallas Mavericks, first black head coach, Avery Johnson. I got to Google that one just to be sure. Avery Johnson, HBCU grad, Southern University. Avery Johnson, I believe, Dallas Mavericks. He led them to their first NBA Finals appearance. Isn't that crazy? Went to St. Aug High School. Yeah, 2005, Dallas Mavericks. So, wow. 92 for the Spurs, John Lucas. 86, did we say, for the Rockets with Don Chaney. And Avery Johnson in 2005. And Rockets came back with Steven Silas this year, 2020. Steadily making history. A little slow, a little sluggish, but steadily making history. So good stuff. Good stuff. On Thursday, I'm going to give you an extensive breakdown. I'm going to try and get Keisha Kelly to come on with me and my brother, man. I got to send him just some love because this dude is on it. Chris Gardner is doing an amazing job over at Houston Roundball Review. Got to send him some love. But I'm going to try and get Keisha Kelly to come on because I'm going to break down the black college football coaches, legendary and current. Legendary and current. Man, if y'all saw my spreadsheet, man, y'all would think I was trying to break down how to get us on Mars and back safely. Like the Hidden Figures did, getting the men on the moon. You would really think I was trying to get somebody on Mars and back. So I'm excited about it. It was fun work. It was enjoyable work. It was eye-opening. If you ever hear somebody say, oh, well, I mean, where's the pool of black candidates? Just tell them you don't want to know. Just tell them you don't want to know. Because when you hear some of these records on the HBCU level, you're going to be like, why in the world didn't we hear more about this person? Current and past. I gotta ease up on Cliff Kingsbury. It's not his fault. I gotta ease up on the guy over in Philly, Sirianni. I mean, it's not his fault. They offered it to him. They gave it to him. I mean, the dude didn't even have clothes to wear for the interview, so everybody dressed down so he wouldn't feel comfortable. What does that tell you? They wanted to give him that job. Did you hear his press conference? Did you hear his press conference? Let me find that thing. Let me find the Sirianni presser. That was brilliance. Let me find that so you can hear how brilliant this guy was. Just absolutely phenomenal. Earth-shattering. Oh, no, okay. I've gotten everything but what I want to find. So anyway, they wanted to give him that job. So it didn't matter what he had on and all of that. They wanted to give him that job. So when he has a press conference that is as bad as they could possibly be, it's not a problem. But you'll hear people say that other folks don't interview well. Yeah, I think they pulled it down. That's interesting. They've scrubbed that press conference. Keith Hennig, they have scrubbed that press conference. Interesting. Yep, can't find it. Oh well, c'est la vie. So if you ever hear somebody say, "Oh, well, where are the candidates?" They don't want to know. I'm saving you breath and time. Somebody who asks you that doesn't want to know. And I gotta be apologetic to Cliff Kingsbury. I gotta be apologetic to Sirianni. I'm not gonna be apologetic to Dan Campbell. I'm sorry, y'all just gonna have to make me apologize to him because that dude is dumb as a bag of rocks. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the new brother who's the GM up there. that he's got to deal with that kind of foolishness. Oh yeah, you knock us down, we're gonna get back up, and on the way up, we're gonna chew off your kneecap, and then you're gonna have to hit us twice the next time, and on our way up, we're gonna take the other kneecap, and you got to hit us 3 times after that, and on the way down, we're gonna take your thumb and your toe, and at the end of the day, we're gonna be the only one standing. That's the toughness we're gonna have here in Detroit. You, sir, are a meathead. Your comments are meathead-ish. You, sir, sound extremely dumb. Your comments sound dumb. You, sir, should not be an NFL head coach. You, sir, are what's wrong with everything related to athletes. You make us sound dumb. Do better. In the words of the late, great, she's not dead, she just had to move out. In the words of the late, great First Lady of the United States of America, be best. I'm sorry, Dan Campbell's just dumb. Until he sounds like he isn't. I don't ever want to hear that Eric Bieniemy didn't interview well whenever that. The Eagles had to scrub Sirianni's press conference, and Dan Campbell's is out there floating around like that's some great work. So I can't wait to share that information on Thursday. Throwback Thursday, we're going to throw back to some great HBCU legendary head coaches, and then we're going to give some love and shine to the current ones. And remember, they didn't play this past season because they chose to err on the side of the kids and not for the money. Not for the money. All right, just got word John Wall is going to be out tomorrow because it's a back-to-back. So Wall will sit out game 1, and then he'll play in the next game. Hopefully the Rockets, can pull it out, win game 7 in a row without J-Dub. I'm liking John Wall, liking his attitude, liking his energy, liking the way he's leading the team. None of that ISO ball. Everything moves quickly when John Wall is in there running the show. Doesn't move too bad when Eric Gordon is running the show. So, liking it. Liking it. All right. Quick sports update. Rockets came out on fire, 130 in their 136-106 win over Oklahoma City last night. Tied an NBA record with 11 threes in a 48-point first quarter. John Wall, Christian Wood both had 18. Eric Gordon added 25 off the bench. Good game. They are going to visit Oklahoma City again tomorrow at 7. Phoenix edged the Mavericks 109-108. Tough game, Valencia. Tough game. Thought the Mavs were going to pull that one out. They've the Mavs have lost 7 in a row, 6 in a row. They've dropped. They've plummeted. So New Orleans fell to Sacramento 118-109. Zion Williamson, 17 points, 8 rebounds. That's another one that I said when they got that head coach, Stan Van Gundy, I wasn't impressed. I know my brother David was okay with it. I know a lot of folks in the New Orleans area was okay with it, but I'm just going to tell you, I know he needs more time. I'm not talking about running him out of the Big Easy right now, but I'm just telling you, Stan, I hope he has matured from his stop at Orlando. I didn't follow him very much up in Detroit. I thought they gave him too much power up in Detroit because they made him the head coach and the VP of basketball operations, and they told him to get on out of here after that. But I hope he has matured and he's not going to start the whole whining and blaming the players. New Orleans got a good squad, like them. Phoenix, the Spurs got manhandled by Memphis, 133-102. Keldon Johnson, though, bright young spot, 25 points, 10 rebounds in the loss. They'll try to bounce back when they host Minnesota tomorrow at 7:30. Little college basketball from around the state. Number 13, Texas Tech beat number 9, Oklahoma, 57-52. Prairie View beat Alabama State, 87-63. Texas Southern beat Alabama A&M, 66-49. As we said yesterday was media day for Super Bowl 55. Two teams are getting ready for the game this coming Sunday. Kansas City basically at Tampa Bay, home game for the Buccaneers. It'll be this Sunday, 5:30 Central, live on CBS. Kind of something to watch. There are 2 Kansas City players that are in the COVID protocol because of contract tracing. They have not tested positive, weren't doing anything that they shouldn't have been doing, just came in contact with someone who had tested positive. So if they don't test positive, they will be able to play on Sunday. Also, Le'Veon Bell, been cleared, ready to go. Antonio Brown, been cleared, ready to go. So it's going to be an interesting game. Going to be an interesting game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, didn't play a whole lot in the AFC Championship game, should be ready to go. They're going to need both of them. Kansas City is going to need both Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell to be able to run that ball against the Tampa Bay defense, which is solid. That defense is solid. Pass rush and against the run, they are solid. That's why I say Edwards-Helaire and Le'Veon Bell and then Williams are going to be necessary for Kansas City in that game. And the guy that I'm really happy for, it's really hard to root against this guy, but Leonard Fournette, man, how great would it be for him to win? I know everybody's talking about Tom Brady and his legacy and whatever, but man, please. Leonard Fournette get a chip with the Buccaneers after this Sunday, after everything that Tom Coughlin and the organization tried to do to that young man. There's no bigger story than that. There's no bigger story than Antonio Brown. Hey, where's Mike Mayock right now? What's Mike Mayock saying about Antonio Brown right now? I don't fault New England with the way they handled Antonio Brown because, Antonio had kind of, gotten beside himself. Just, Antonio, don't tweet, don't text, don't bother anybody. Just keep your head low, let this blow over. And he couldn't do that at that time. So they had no other choice but to let him go. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were actively talking about possibly bringing him back and letting it ride out with the league, finish his suspension, and then come back with New England. They just never pulled the trigger on it. And Antonio Brown did whatever he was asked to do, served his suspension, did whatever he needed to do off the court, in court, with the young ladies involved, and got another chance to play. You mean to tell me if that young man doesn't get a chip, that's not a big story? Oh, no, AJ, he's an abuser, and he did that. I don't know. They didn't put him in jail. They didn't charge him. I'm not trying to be insensitive. You know me. I care about women who are abused physically, sexually, mentally, financially. I care about that stuff. So all I'm going to say is this. If Antonio Brown wins a chip, I'm going to be happy for him. If he wins a chip, I'm going to be happy for him. Take a quick break. Lily and the Tax Doctor right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. I'll be right back with more right after this.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they are able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Black History Month, and it is our Team Texas Tuesday. So, yeah, let me reiterate again. Not at all trying to excuse or glorify what Antonio Brown had going on. But to my knowledge, all that's been cleared up. All that's been cleared up. Unlike the dude up there in Seattle. His stuff hadn't been cleared up. But Antonio Brown's stuff has been. On and off the court. Field, I'm sorry. We ain't talking basketball. I'm not going to be upset if he wins a chip. You know, the way Mike Mayock, John Gruden, all of them dealt with that young man and the leaks to the media about this, that, and the other. You know, Mayock trying to make himself out to be a victim. You know, you call a guy out in front of his teammates and he goes off on you in the same venue that you went off on him. You don't get to be the victim of the problem that you started. You can't start a problem. You can't be an instigator and a victim of the same situation. So, sorry. You know, get your act together and get that team where y'all said y'all were going to have it. Let's worry about that. You know, talk about two guys that, all right, whatever. Mike Mayock and John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders. And especially given what the Rams just did, Oakland needs to get it together over there. Another team that needs to figure out what they're going to do, San Francisco. Lynch and Shanahan are looking kind of, I know y'all just coming off of a Super Bowl a couple of seasons ago, but hey, Jimmy Garoppolo ain't it. And seeing what the Rams did to get Matthew Stafford, y'all need to be wearing the Texans out for Deshaun Watson. There are a couple of teams that, to me, you need to be wearing the Texans out. And one of them is not the New York Jets, because the New York Jets are not close to winning anything. I like David Salah. I like him. But, I mean, he took that job knowing that they're not there yet. Deshaun gets them closer, but San Francisco instantly becomes a contender if they get Deshaun Watson. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they get Bosa back. You got Bosa back on that defense. He's healthy. You got Deshaun, and you can kind of, you know, protect him, unlike the Texans. And he's throwing the ball to Kittle. Got that running attack behind him. San Francisco immediately becomes a contender if they get Deshaun. I know another team is not going to do it because they've already kind of announced what they're going to do. But, man, if the Steelers could have gotten Deshaun Watson, I got news for you. They would instantly become the contender. I know Kansas City. I know Baltimore. I know Buffalo. I know those are the teams everybody's talking about in the AFC. But I'm telling you this. The Pittsburgh Steelers get Deshaun Watson. They go to the front of the line. I didn't say the head of the line. They go to the front of the line. They go to 1, 2, or 3. Pick a day. Kansas City's still number 1. But, baby, I got to tell you, AFC, I got Pittsburgh number 2. Buffalo might be up near the top. Baltimore, definitely near the top. But everybody else is everybody else. I want to hear about Tennessee if Deshaun Watson goes to Pittsburgh. If I am those two teams, I am wearing the Texans out. Hey, Willie Gibson, man, I have missed you, brother. I love you. I miss you. I hope everything is going well with you and your family. Happy Black History Month, man. I gotta share this. This was hilarious. This was hilarious. Oh, please tell me that I didn't save it. Golly, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It was it's Deshaun Watson's agent. Deshaun Watson's agent on Twitter just kind of like buried a guy. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, please let me find it. It was so good. Yeah, here we go. So Dan Sileo, who's Dan Sileo? Dan Sileo, let me go. Dan Sileo works for USA Radio Networks, Canes Football, Wall of Fame, I don't know what that is, WLAF, NFL, AFL, CFL, 7-year pro career, Dan Sileo. Dan Sileo did hashtag David Mulageta at Deshaun Watson. He said, at Deshaun Watson's agent has informed the Houston Texans he will not be reporting to any offseason team activities if allowed. He wants out. Hashtag we are Texans. So he's saying that the agent for Deshaun Watson has told the Texans that Deshaun won't be reporting to any offseason team activities. Interesting. The very guy that he hashtagged about, David, I'm going to get his name wrong, Mulageta, said on behalf of, quotes, David Mulageta, whom I speak to often, I can confirm that this information is made up, like much of the other breaking news I've heard attributed to sources close to Watson. Wow. Wow. That's called a technical knockout. That's called a stop the fight. That's called a throw in the towel. That's not what Dan Campbell was talking about. Like, this dude got knocked out and he didn't get back up and he didn't bite off any kneecaps, any thumbs, any toes. He just stayed down. The very guy he quoted him back, said, yeah, I've talked to David myself because I'm him. And this thing is not false. It's made up. As well as much of the other breaking news and reports that we've heard from sources close to Deshaun Watson. I don't know what Deshaun is going to do. I think I know what he wants to do. And I'm so sick of the people that have all of a sudden turned into haters of Deshaun. When Deshaun was balling out, oh, yeah, that Deshaun Watson, love him. Glad he's down here in Houston, man. I tell you what, all we needed was a quarterback like Deshaun. Now we're on our way, baby. Super Bowl. Let's go Texans. Tailgating. Woo-hoo. Ric Flair. Woo. But then Deshaun gets lied to by the owner. God only knows what's going on with Jack Easterby. You know, the prayer partner of the owner and the new general manager. He's not the team chaplain. I know the team chaplain. He's not that. God only knows what's going on with them. And he doesn't like it anymore. He doesn't like it here anymore. And now all of a sudden you got that same person. Oh man, Deshaun Watson, he's a baby. He needs to own up to his contract. He gave his word and they gave him all that money. Now he needs to suck it up and play. Traitor. Heard a guy call into Jim Rome the other day and, Oh yeah, that there Deshaun Watson. If I'm the Jets, I'll stay clear of him. If he quit on the Texans, he'll quit on them too. He did not quit on the Texans, Bubba. And oh yeah, by the way, thank God he even mentioned your team, the Jets. Give me a break. I'm telling you, it all started when Bill O'Brien, trying to cover his own behind, said that Deshaun Watson holds the ball too long. Oh, yeah, look there. Deshaun's holding the ball too long. Have no idea what play was called. Have no idea what the route tree looked like. Have no idea who ran their route correctly. Have no idea who got knocked off their route. Have no idea who leaked their defender in. Guys running for his life. Have no idea what's going on other than what a talentless person said. And yes, that's what I call Bill O'Brien. I'm going with what Slim Thug said. A talentless person who wouldn't even have a job except his people had some bread. Sorry. I hope the agent for Watson and Deshaun are all on the same page. If y'all are going to sit this one out, sit it out, man. Sit it out. Sit it out. If you're going to sit it out, sit it out. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't have cracks in the plan. Just stick with the plan. Don't listen to what they say about you. They hate you when you're bad or when you make a mistake. They love you barely when you don't. To me, this one is all about Deshaun and what's best for him and his family right now. Texan fans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to make you feel that way. Trust me, if you live through the Bill O'Brien era, you'll be fine. You'll be okay after Deshaun. Hey, you might even get Jimmy Garoppolo out of the deal. How about that? Jimmy Garoppolo and a couple of firsts. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. If the Steelers had a couple of first-round picks, a couple of second-round picks, they got some defenders that they can send this way. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes in here to close it out. Sybil Wilkes in here to close it out. Don't forget it's Black History Month. Get your Black History gear from African Imports. They got sales going on now. Masks $4.99, scarves and hats $9.99, dashikis for kids $14.99 and up. Parents, you get your dashikis for $29.99, and ladies, you get those beautiful African dresses for $39.99 and up. Get ready for your Black History program by going over to African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall. Tell them you heard it on KYOK. They'll give you 10% off your purchases. Call them. 281-875-0056, 281-875-0056. Want to shout out on this day of Black History to the first Black quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy, my namesake, Andre Ware. Did it over at U of H back in 1989. Threw for over 4,690 yards, 44 touchdowns. Set 26 NCAA records, first Black quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy, Andre Ware. First Black quarterback at U of H, I'm going with Danny Davis. Why? Because they didn't keep the record, can't be found. Crazy. And yes, Nat Turner was a freedom fighter, not a murderer. All right, as always, let's not be divided, let's be united. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show in the morning. Erica Campbell and Griff. Then your boy will be back for Winning Wednesday. Again, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to everybody around you. Give them their 6 feet. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Talk to you later.
Today, Democratic leaders are working to handle the problem of freshman Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Greene's accusations include liking posts calling for the execution of Democratic leaders and calling school shootings staged events carried out by actors. House Democrats stepped up Monday to file a resolution to remove Greene from her recent House committee assignments. When Kamala Harris took her oath of office, the U.S. gained its first woman, Black, and South Asian American vice president. And as many celebrated Vice President Harris's rise, some Black women felt defeated as the only African American woman left the halls of the U.S. Senate. Despite the efforts of Black women leading to victories for the Democratic Party, support of Black women political hopefuls has not existed. Organizers and Black women in Congress, including Congresswoman Barbara Lee of Oakland, California, are pushing to secure a seat for the next Black woman senator. Please visit SybillWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Looking forward to tomorrow. Willie Gibson, good to see you, man. I mean it. Love you, brunch. Love you much, brother. All right, y'all take care. Desiree, you done messed me up today. I need an edible arrangement or a hug, one of the two. All right, so y'all take care. Not this, definitely this. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. All right.